We have the Lions and Jaguars on Saturday for preseason week 2. We've seen a lot in the first week, and we want to see some consistency. We want to see some growth. We want to see a little bit more from our team. In this video, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to do the preview of Lions versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. What to watch for our football team. On Saturday, I am doing the live watch party for this bad boy. So if you want to watch Lions, Jaguars, breakdown, play-by-play, and all of that lovely stuff, you need to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and get ready. It should be 12:30 p.m. on Saturday when I get this thing going, so you don't miss out. Again, the game here, we are doing Jacksonville Jaguars, Detroit Lions at Ford Field. It is Saturday, August 19 at 1 p.m. We faced each other already last year. The Lions defeated the Jacksonville Jaguars, but the Jacksonville Jaguars are still a good football team and something that we have to watch for going forward with them. And so we get to see the Lions versus Jacksonville Jaguars, Lions starters, potentially maybe for a series. If not, we're going to see second and third string going against each other and what to watch for. What my expectations here. If the starters do play, I expect it to be just one series. Nothing significant at all. You're not going to see Jared Goff all the way to the third quarter or anything like that. Predominantly, you're looking for specific said players like Jameson Williams, watching him throughout the preseason, and other players, backup players and rookies, Jack Campbell, Jahmyr Gibbs, players that are going to have an impact for the Lions in the 2023 NFL season. Question for the day, who do you got in this game? Do you got the Lions? Put L if you have the Detroit Lions, and put J if you have the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of L's. So for 5 things for me to look for here, number 1 is the young running backs for the Detroit Lions. The Lions have a competition going on ever since Justin Jackson retired 5-6 days ago. We have a situation who's going to be the number 4 back. Now look, the competition was going on pretty good even before that, but competition is really raising its bar right now, and you already know who the number 1 and number 2 and number 3 are. David Montgomery, who we might see a little bit in this game. He's the pounder for the Detroit Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs, the rookie. Got to see, can he consistently burst like he was doing in the first game? If he can consistently do that, the Lions are looking pretty, if you ask me. Will Craig Reynolds actually get a chance to be in this game? That's another player we got to watch to a little bit for sure. And I put RB4. Not because Jamar Jefferson's RB4. It's because I didn't want to put every other person on here like Mo Ibrahim and Ozigbo and Snell. So those are the guys that are competing for that final roster spot. Same with Jason Kabinda. So I want to see who is going to break out. To me, I thought Benny Snell last week probably did the best out of all the other running backs here. But look, Mo Ibrahim and Ozigbo, Jamar Jefferson are still trying to make this football team, and they're doing everything they can and are going against a pretty good defensive line and depth chart of the Jacksonville Jaguars. They'll have an opportunity to see who can break out. Now, will the offensive line for the Lions, second and third strings hold up? I don't know. That's going to be a big-time question mark for the football team, but definitely got a lot of good for the Lions to look at in that area of the running back position. We need to know who's going to be filling the backup role. For number 2 for me here, it's got to go with the kicking position. Kickers' lives matter. We all know that. And last week, guess what, folks? The kicking competition just kept going on. And you got Riley Patterson, who I do think is kicker 1 right now, and Parker Roma, who's number 2. But again, this is going to go all the way to preseason week 3, and to see who the kicker for the Detroit Lions wants to see consistency from both of these young fellows. Can these guys get consistent with the Lions in this game? We really don't know at this point, so we're still watching to see who can do it for the Detroit Lions, who can break out for the Lions in this one. So, look, we just need to have a good kicker. Let's be honest here. We just need to have some guys that are not completely out of the loop and unable to pretty much do anything. If that's the case, the Lions are in a good spot because we don't want to lose games, right, next year by field goals. That is the absolute and worst situation for the Lions that can take place, is having games lost, especially when you're trying to compete for a playoff spot and you lose by a freaking field goal. The fans go crazy. So do I, and so does everybody else. I got a question for you in the comments section. Name a surprise cut for the Lions in the upcoming, 53-man cut down. Any one player, you name it, we'll talk about it in the comments below. Another thing I'm definitely looking for here is the offensive line depth chart. This is really, really important here because the Detroit Lions need to find the backup roles for these guys. This has been a problem for the Detroit Lions since the start of training camp. We're not worried about our starters, Frank Ragnow and all those guys. We're just not. But who is going to come in here and break it all down for the whole offensive line? Graham Glasgow is definitely going to be on this football team. He is, right now, I feel like he's the number one backup for center and right guard. Colby Sorsdale is definitely making the team, but can he make a jump? We need this guy to come in this game and start to grow for this offensive line. We do. We need to have this backup position squared away because there's going to be times in the 2023 NFL season where one of our guys goes down. If Frank Ragnow goes down, you can throw Graham Glasgow to center, but then you're going to need a right guard. If Jonah Jackson goes down, throw Colby Sorsdale. Could he be there for the left guard? Same with the right guard. Obena Eze versus Matt Nelson for the tackle position is going to be intriguing. And same with Jermaine Ifedi. Who can hold the tackle position down? Oh, this is a nail-biter for me. It absolutely is, because when you're talking about a premium position like tackle, you want to make sure it's good to go. And right now, Matt Nelson looking like booty cheeks. Obena Eze looking like a second-year rookie. Kind of like a rookie, right? He's like, he didn't really do anything last year. And Jermaine Ifedi, don't really know a whole lot. This may be a spot for the Lions to acquire more talent when the 53 of the rest of the NFL comes in there, because it is a position right now, I think, that is really not settled, and that is a problem. I want to look for linebacker youth and consistency. We've seen a lot of good from the Lions linebackers in preseason 1. Way more good than bad. Super excited to watch them in preseason week 2. Now it's consistency. Now it's doing the same thing again that you did against the New York Giants and compared to the Jacksonville Jaguars. We know Alex Anzalone's the starter. We know what he brings, right? But Derek Barnes, can he continue to dominate that he did at OTAs, minicamp, training camp, and preseason week 1? Can he do that? That spells great news if he's consistently doing that in this game. Something that we're absolutely looking forward to. The rookie, the 18th pick in the draft, he was looking hella good in this game on Friday versus Giants. Do it again. Do it again against Trevor Lawrence in this offense. Stop the run. Stay with your receiver or tight end and consistently be good. Malcolm Rodriguez, he is the forgotten player on this linebacking position, and just continue to be Malcolm Rodriguez. We know what we have in him. He's a good player. We know what we have. Jalen Reeves-Maybin, who is not on here as well, he had a good preseason game Friday. He's shown some tackles. He's generally going to be a special teams guy, but For a backup role, I'm fine with it. And Anthony Pittman, can he be consistent? Because he may be the one guy, if you're going to go extra edge, that he could be out on that for sure. And finally, for me, we got to do the wide receiver depth here for the Detroit Lions. We know that Jameson Williams is going to be playing quite a bit in this football game. He did last week. He had a mixed review, if you ask me. He dropped a touchdown pass, but then he made up with a couple catches and a 2-point conversion. I want to see him grow from that. I don't want to see him drop a football. Jameson Williams need to keep his hands on the football and make those touches. We know what Khalif Raymond, Josh Reynolds could do. This is generally, when we're talking about the wide receiver position, we're talking about the guys like Maurice Alexander, Chase Cota, Dylan Drummond, and Antoine Green. I'm watching those players right here. Who is going to get the final one? It's hard, really, to look at. It's difficult to look at. We know Marvin Jones Jr., he's good. We know all these guys in here is good. But who's going to get that final one? Denzel Mims as well. You can throw him in the list. Trinity Benson. There is a lot of players at this wide receiver position fighting for the final spot for the Lions. And it's really important that we figure out in this game who can stand out. Chase Cota, he continues to be a Tom Kennedy in this game. He's good to go, right? Dylan Drummond, he had a mixed review in my opinion. Maurice Alexander, great kick returner. Can he catch a football? Those are the things that I'm looking for in this game. We're going to be live for the game, live watch party. That is on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. all the way till the game is over. We'll do a post-game video breaking it down, what happens. So subscribe and hit that notification bell. With that said, folks, adios.